Fortnite Season 2 Chapter 3 brought a ton of new changes to the island, but there are still a ton of hidden updates leakers have found in the new game files that I need to show you guys. So for the first leaked update, I'm excited to reveal that the Ballers will finally be returning after being completely absent in Chapter 2. It is codenamed in the files right now Hamster Ball Prototype, so there's really no doubt of what it is. And since HypeX is calling it a V2 version of Ballers, it is possible they could be changed slightly, but we do know that they're going to have 400 health this time around. Yes! 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 And another surprise I have for you guys is that I am still gifting 5 subscribers every single day who drop a like, turn on all notifications, and leave a comment with their epic ID. I appreciate all your guys' support a ton, and if you guys could just take 2 seconds to put code DOOM in your Fortnite item shop when you log on, I would seriously appreciate it forever. And moving on to number 2, Sheena has discovered that there will be a homing rocket launcher introduced this season, which means that it can lock onto targets itself, which means that it can lock onto targets and follow them without you having to do anything. Lost of Fortnite has found a similar weapon in the game files that seems to attract to players, vehicles, and builds, as you guys can see here, but obviously it's gonna look a little bit different once it's actually introduced in the game, once they polish it up and everything. And for number 3, this is a huge surprise to me, but HypeX has discovered that Wolverine will be returning as a boss this season with a wholly revamped Claws mythic weapon, so that's super exciting. We saw him on the Marvel and Fortnite comic book cover that they released right before the season came out, and even though we knew he was an ally of the 7, I honestly wasn't expecting him to return as a boss this season. And for leak number 4, it's a small one, but the ton emote is still in the files after all this time, so I would hope it's going to be released soon. Otherwise, I don't know why they wouldn't just remove it when they changed all the files for this season, so we can look forward to that. And next up for leak number 5, you guys may have noticed that the war funding system is back, and right now we're able to fund gold for the armored battle bus, but we actually know what else could be returning in the future. We are going to be able to vote between the combat AR and the MK7 AR from last season, the bubble shield versus balloons, boogie bombs versus the Rift to Go, and the 7's turrets versus the 7's anti-vehicle turrets. So make sure you're stacking up your gold so we can get the best stuff, and remember, whenever you fund an effort, you still get rewarded with mini shields, so it's definitely worth it. Now for number 6, we have a few vehicles that are already in the files but aren't quite in the game yet. The first one was discovered by HypeX and is named the Quad Bike, which is odd since we obviously already know about quad crashers, so I'm not really sure how this one will differ. But additionally, we saw planes being flown in Fortnite's Season 2 official trailer, so I would say there's a solid chance we could see the planes returning as well. And finally, we know helicopters or choppas are returning because there is an image in the files of a brand new 7 themed helicopter, which looks really cool. And since the blimps around the map are owned by the Imagined Order, I'm curious to see where the 7 are going to bring in their helipads in order to fight against the IO. And I think a lot of us can agree that the helicopters are probably the best vehicle that's ever came to Fortnite, so hopefully these are released sooner rather than later. Next up for number 7, I know everyone is going to be hyped that lightsabers will be returning this season. And I know all of us are still waiting on a lightsaber pickaxe too, so even though there hasn't been evidence of that quite yet, I'm still going to pray that it comes at some point. And if you guys didn't know, the brand new ObiWan Kenobi TV show is scheduled to release on May 25th on Disney+. And since Fortnite has done a collaboration with practically every new Star Wars Disney show, I think it's fair to say that the lightsabers returning at the same time as this isn't a coincidence. So this probably means we could see some new Star Wars related characters like Obi-Wan Kenobi and whoever else ends up being in that show. And since the show releases towards the end of this Fortnite season, maybe it could be leading up to a fully Star Wars themed Season 3, I don't know. But speaking of new skins, there are already some new skin IDs in the files that aren't quite decrypted yet, so we can't see them, but we know they are called, for one, the Little Egg skin, which will have 3 variants, a Bacteria skin, Mary Jane Watson, Tent Petty, Wild Chair, and Shadow Choice as the code names. And honestly, I have no clue what these skins could be, so if you guys have any ideas, be sure to let me know in the comments. But moving on for number 9, I know many of us were disappointed that we didn't get the pump shotguns back or even a real change in the shotgun meta at all, but that will definitely be changing this season. Fortnite is already planning a new single barrel break action shotgun that will be able to one-hit opponents. So you guys can see a quick preview of the shotgun in this clip here, but this could be a huge game changer for like the meta overall, and maybe will give us the satisfaction of hitting a 200 pump once again. Now I know this isn't really a leaked update, but since there's only a few days left to redeem the free Doctor Who spray, I thought I'd just mention it real quick here. You just need to go to fortnite.com/redeem and then enter this code as you guys see here, and once you're done typing that in, you will be able to claim a free spray that will probably never come to the game again, so go ahead and do it if you haven't already. And next up for number 11, HypeX has uncovered that jetpacks will once again make a return this season. They are going to spawn inside the blimps owned by the Imagined Order that are all around the map, and it looks like we may even be able to equip them without taking a spot in our inventory, and that would be a cool little twist, but I guess you'd be stuck with it until you run out of fuel as well. HypeX also mentioned that there is going to be a new consumable called a Silver Blazer, which honestly I have no clue what that could be, so once again, if you guys have any ideas, be sure to let me know. And now for number 12, to fit the war theme season, Fortnite is going to be introducing some aerial attacks. The first one being the return of airstrikes. You guys can see the new stats here, and that they are going to do way more damage to buildings. They will come down a little bit faster, but they don't do quite as much damage to players. Lost of Fortnite also discovered a different variant of the airstrikes, as you guys can see here, so they might be a little bit closer to this version than the one we had in the past. Sheena BR also said that there's going to be some sort of artillery weapon that will be introduced as well. However, there aren't any details on this item quite yet, so unfortunately I don't really know how this one is going to work. And for number 13, this is a little bit more speculation, but you guys may have noticed that the toolboxes have returned, and right now they drop ammo as well as the Cowcatcher vehicle mod, but it's possible they release something like the nuts and bolts where we can craft new weapons sometime in the future. It seems weird they'd add the toolboxes just for the vehicle mods, but I guess that is a possibility. Now for number 14, I'm sure you guys remember last season Fortnite released a blog post teasing that we'd see many new Spideys arrive during the season. And then not only that, but there were many teasers in game at the Daily Bugle of skins such as the Green Goblin and Loki that eventually were released as a skin. Well, Miles Morales was the only skin that was teased here but not released, so that disappointed all of us. However, Prowler is this season's special skin in the Battle Pass, and if you don't know why that's relevant, it's because Prowler is actually Miles Morales' uncle. And also, if you didn't know, in the video game, Miles Morales and Prowler have a legendary boss fight that's a huge part of the game, so personally, I'm willing to bet everything I have that we will see Miles Morales in the item shop this season. And now for number 15, I'm gonna rapid fire off a few more leaks, including these decorations for Lantern Fest that are going to be placed around the map for Ramadan, so be on the lookout for that. And then also we have what the starter pack is going to be, as you guys can see here. I don't know what the name is, but this is the skin and everything you'll get for, I think it's usually like $5 or $6. And then also one last leak that we had actually prior to the season releasing is that we were going to get some sort of workshop and gadgets feature from the 7, so that is something we may see this season as well, so be on the lookout for that. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you like the jam-packed news, make sure to drop a like. Use code DOOM in the item shop if you support these types of videos, and I will see you guys in the next one tomorrow. All right, peace out.